Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 4th of September. My name's Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Pearce.
And viewers, this is the relaxed edition. This is the Queensland edition. We are at a conference as we are coming live to you from one of the worst hotels I've ever stayed at. So I am jumping straight into this, Gary. We are going to bag QT hotels because the service here is atrocious.
The lifts don't work.
The back of house operations are, it's indescribable.
But there's no reflection on the conference, Philip, because the conference and the organisers and the conference is wonderful. The content's good. The conference room is nice. It's cool. I like a cool room.
Yeah.
It's just the rest of the place lets it down. But you know, Queensland, they work differently to us, don't they, Queensland? What is it about Queenslanders? And I reckon it's improved a lot, the Gold Coast, but there's just this, they've got their own pace. It's like they need tourists, but they secretly hate us at the same time.
Do you know what? It's like the French. The French in Paris used to hate everybody that wasn't Parisian until they worked out actually if no one came, the economy would collapse.
Maybe so.
Queensland hasn't quite worked that out. That without the tourist, you have no reason to exist.
So what do they say? And the weather, perfect one, beautiful one day, perfect. It's
Rainy
outside.
Do you know the only thing that is good about this episode of GPTV so far is Pete, the cameraman, who we've never ever met before, but Pete has busily got everything together, and shout out to Visual Domain because you've got a good guy in Queensland.
Pete,
we said to Pete, we had hardly one conversation with him except we said, Pete, you're definitely not born in Queensland. He said, no, I'm born in Sydney. And we said, we get that. You move quickly.
Exactly right. Anyway,
slow.
What do you say? Queensland, slow one day, hopeless the next. But let's talk about just the market because we've done enough Queensland bashing. And I tell you what, if we've got any Queensland clients, they've probably left us now. They've gone up the road.
Won't be getting a listing anytime soon.
No, I don't think
Queensland.
so. It doesn't look like it. I think that Queensland office is off the table, Phil. Let's just talk about the weekend though, Phil. Hey, first weekend in spring, Phil. Not bad at all, eh?
Before we talk about the results from the weekend, Gary, what do you notice firstly that's different about me?
About you? Well, you've got a big cut on your head. I saw that. I know. What is that? I meant to ask you.
I wasn't actually going to refer to that, but viewers, if you want
to know, what you wanted me to draw attention to?
What happened here? There's a couple of. I've got about 5 different
stories. Good story. Yes,
5 different stories. Right. But the truth to the story is
those Swedish twins that were in the spa.
We got back from Bali on Friday night, and I was so excited to get into my bed with its comfortable mattress and its comfortable pillows. Irene's in bed, and I said, "Oh, I can't wait to get into bed," and I jumped into the bed. Smacked my head on the headboard, almost knocked myself out. There's blood all over the pillow.
Oh, it's awful.
That's the story, and it's a true story.
Well, your wife will be watching.
The other 5 stories I've got are even better.
Your wife will be watching,
but
so we'll find out.
That's not what I meant, Gary.
Right. Well,
what else do you notice about me that's different?
Well, I don't know. Oh, your suntan.
Well, I have got a great suntan.
Great suntan. You look fantastic.
Haven't you noticed that when we were coming up to Queensland, that as we were getting onto the plane, all the women were looking at me?
Hey, of course.
Have you noticed that? Have you noticed about the way when you're walking with me, women start to notice you as well?
Well, I've had to bat off a lot of women. It's been almost awkward and embarrassing, Philip. Even at the airport when we walked in, all the time, the hotel, in the conference room, in the breaks.
I'm getting a bit tired of all this attention, Gary.
Well, let's just talk about what we're now actually referring to, and that is the article that was in the Domain, where there was a wonderful spread, of course, on Philip Kingston because he was...
Well, we have a copy here that I'm happy to sign for you.
You have to,
yes. If you'd like me to sign that for you.
We'll do a close-up of this, but hang on a minute. We open this. Let's have a little look at this. It's all actually
Saturday's Domain, I think that something like 5 million copies of Saturday's Domain.
Well, there's some lipstick on this one. Is that been left out to the women, has it? There's something.
Come on, quickly find the page.
I can't find it here, Phil. It's a long way back.
I can find it. I know exactly where it is. So this is the Domain. The Domain, this is a fantastic newspaper, sold all over the world. In fact, it's probably one of the world's leading magazines.
Yes, it's right up there with...
More popular than Time magazine.
Oh, there you
go.
There you go. Look at this.
Who can believe that that's me?
Look at that with that little lovely red check.
Can I just read the opening line?
Why don't
you read the opening line?
The opening line, and this is the sickest thing I've ever read in my life, I think. Could Philip Kingston be every woman's dream?
Sorry, what was that? Just read it once.
Could Philip Kingston be every woman's dream?
Sorry, I didn't quite hear it. One more time.
I'll read the whole line. Could Philip Kingston be every woman's dream, or is he really their nightmare? That's the whole thing.
That part is not true. If you haven't bought a copy of last Saturday's Age, I've got 300 copies at home that I'm happy to deliver to your door.
I've never seen you so effervescent and pumped about this. A bloke who actually enjoys shopping. No, seriously, he does. And I think that's more disturbing than it is flattering. I'm going to tell you. A long, hard road from a farm boy at Cootamundra. Yeah, well, anyway, go and get yourself that if there's any copies left, but we'll put it up on the screen, and I'm sure...
Let's put it up on the screen, shall we?
We'll
and leave it up there for considerable amount of time. In fact, why don't we just leave that up for the entire edition of GPTV, and we'll just do a voiceover.
It's like it's like Seinfeld. It's time to bow out. He bowed out on top, and you're on top right now. I think, see you later. Time to bow out.
So my wife was reading that at breakfast, right? And
all of a sudden... What breakfast did she eat that she threw up?
No, she's reading it at breakfast, and all of a sudden, all of the muesli spurts out of her mouth over the table.
Is that right?
It was gross.
Yeah, fantastic. Anyway, every woman's dream. There you go. And he dives into bed with enthusiasm. I don't know, what a holiday. I tell you what, a holiday,
Speaking of
what
holiday,
it can do for you.
Viewers, I've just had 10 days in Bali.
Yes.
And I never thought that Bali was a thing.
It's fantastic.
I could not have had a better time.
Absolutely.
We stayed in Seminyak, Gary. The restaurants in Seminyak are unbelievable. Then we went
Service
to
is good.
Uluwatu, which is
good.
a spectacular place. And I've got to tell you that the Balinese people, people have been saying this for years. I'm a late convert to this whole story. But people have been saying for years that the Balinese are wonderful, wonderful people. And they are the most beautiful people.
Lovely people.
Unlike the Queenslanders. I think everybody in Queensland, in the tourist business, needs to go to Bali and just seriously sort yourselves out in the Sunshine State.
Well, you go to, let's say you want a coffee in Bali, right? Yeah. You walk into a hotel and they go, hello, Mr. Kingston, what can I get for you? Would you like coffee? And then you go to Queensland and they go, oh, you want a coffee, do you? They go, yeah, won't be long. Yeah, I'll get there. Yeah, eventually. Oh, you're impatient, are you? Oh. Anyway, let's talk about the auction.
Let's talk about real estate, Gary. It was an amazing weekend at Gary Peer and Associates. Yet again, we have smashed the industry average. We had a 79% clearance rate, which is boom clearance rates against an industry average of 61, which was an improvement on the week before.
It has improved. It was the start of spring. Phil, spring has sprung.
Spring has sprung.
It was the start of spring. We didn't know what to expect, really. I mean, we had a fair idea, but some incredibly competitive auctions.
We had a lot of auctions, Gary. What was the number again? Because I've forgotten. It was
15 out of 19 that we sold.
So we had 19 auctions. We did. Sold 15 out of 19. And by the way, viewers, 19 is a massive number of auctions. Well, so to get a 7... No, I know that. But a 79% clearance rate across a large number of auctions is a standout result. So shout out to the hardworking team at Gary Peer and Associates who are doing a wonderful job. Now, Gary,
congratulations to all of our vendors. Thank you for giving us a go and an opportunity. And well done to all those buyers that connected and have got their new dream and their new home and their new path of the journey of life ahead of them.
A lot of the results were undisclosed across the weekend, Gary. But I had an auction on Sunday because everybody's coming up to us at the moment going, what's going on with the market? We hear about gloom and doom. What is the real truth behind the market? I had an auction on Sunday, Gary. Reserve was $2.3 million. Yes. And we sold the property for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars over the reserve. Yes. So viewers, if a property is well marketed, and particularly if it's handled by Gary Peer and Associates, you've got to be quite confident things are picking up. I think, I'm going to call it, I think the market has found its level, and now there will be a resurgence over the next 12 months.
I think you're probably right. I agree with you. It's one of those rare occasions, Philip. We've had a lot of things going on in the company too. We had a night for all of our Asian clients. We went and saw Crazy Rich Asians. And there are some crazy rich agents that were crazy, not agents, no rich agents anymore. That was last year.
I never met a rich agent. I met plenty of crazy agents, yes, but not a crazy rich Asians.
We took all our Asian clients. And I've got to say, Phil, what a great night it was. Well done to Mandy Gayo, one of our Asian agents who's doing so successfully.
And a shout out to the Classic Cinema who always host our movie nights and do a great job they do.
And a shout out also to Metropole, Philip, advocates and agents they are. They put on a very, very good night on Saturday night.
I believe you were the charity auctioneer there, Gary?
Jeremy and I both did the charity auction, which was fantastic fun. But well done to Metropole because, Phil, on Saturday night because it's not enough to auction houses. We've got to auction sports memorabilia as well. But well done to them. They had a very, very, very successful evening. Raised $50,000 for your very special kids. Good on you.
Yeah,
for doing stuff like that.
And good on you, Gary, for giving up your Saturday
Happy
night
to be part of it.
and doing the charity auction there. And viewers, of course, as we're on the theme of what's going on at
Got no friends.
Booran Associates. We're up in Queensland at this terrible hotel with this horrible backdrop.
What I want to know.
But what are we doing here? We're here for the Michael Sheargold conference. And Michael Sheargold is, I think, really Australia's best real estate trainer.
He's very good.
And if I say that once more, real estate trainer Michael Sheargold is the best. We may get a discount on next year's tickets. But we're here. We brought all the directors of Gary Booran Associates up
all
here
the leaders,
because learning is absolutely critical and important. Gary, the minute you think you know everything is the minute you start going backwards and start looking like a Queenslander.
You know what?
I'm going to just keep having a crack at those.
You know what I'd like to do? Let's have a competition for who can give us the best quote of what QT stands for. I think it's quite terrible. I think QT stands for quite terrible, but I'd like to do a competition of what is the most apt description for what QT stands for.
Before we do that, though, we do need to get
we just put on
we need to get a legal view on this.
Why?
I mean, I'm just not sure whether
it's an opinion.
Okay, it's an opinion.
You're allowed to have an opinion.
But once you broadcast an opinion,
is that right?
It's just our opinion that we think this hotel's ordinary.
Yeah, all right.
It's probably fabulous.
I don't think they would care, quite frankly, Phil. But anyway,
clearly they've shown very little concern so far.
Anyway, QT, quite terrible, I think. That's our experience and that's our opinion. We're entitled to that. It's not slanderous because that has been the opinion and the feeling that we've got. Phil, let's move on because we're just waffling. And it's good, by the way, to have Daniel Peer up here. My son decided. He said, I want to see you on Father's Day, so he tracked up with us yesterday. So well done to all of our leaders and
all I
directors
can say, he's one big unit, your son. I'm so pleased, as much as I love your son, and he's a great little conversationalist, I'm so pleased I wasn't sitting next to him on the plane because it's just like, there would be, I'd be sitting there like, I'd have to suck my stomach in.
I know, he was a big boy. Phil, let's just run through some results quickly. Look, one of the significant results, the price is undisclosed, but for Allfrey Street, Brighton East. Now look, this is an interesting story because we've done this a number of times, Phil, where we've had auctions and it hasn't been successful, and then we've re-auctioned it, and lo and behold, it's sold. So well done to Darren Crongold and his team, and you as the auctioneer, at selling for Allfrey Street, which went through a second time round. And we've done well in Brighton because we sold in Asling Street as well in Brighton.
Yeah, we had a good day in Brighton.
In fact, the auction results in Brighton weren't very good, but we did really well because we sold both of ours. Philip, we sold in Hyde on the weekend in Graham Street. 63 Balaclava Road was a highly successful auction.
That was hot.
Went for a premium price.
5 bidders there, Gary, too.
And well done. 34A Marara Road, our favourite clients on the world, Philip, if I can say that. A lovely family who are master builders and wonderful people. We sold that property.
Shout out to that family because you do the best job.
They rock.
And been great supporters of ours, so thank you very much.
And isn't it great when you do business with people who are delightful and they appreciate you and they take your advice.
And next time I see you, I've got a new bottle of whiskey for you.
Good on you. So
well done. My whiskey mate.
Sold for $1,600,000. Congratulations on that sale in Marara Road. Well done to Leon and the team. 17 Burrindi Road, Philip. That went well.
A bit of a celebrity as the owner of that property, Gary.
Yeah, they're in the entertainment and media industry.
He was the man behind
Red Faces.
Red Faces,
and he didn't have a red face on the Sunday, Philip. He had a very happy face.
He had a delighted face.
He did.
And
a very happy face.
Maybe he'll bring out a series called Delighted Faces.
Exactly right. So well done. In the real estate industry. 2 Brentani Avenue, a wonderful home, also sold for
Shout out to the vendors there because they had built the most beautiful house, Gary. It was a very, very lovely home to have on the market.
Phil, are we going to do that QT test or not? I don't think, maybe we won't. Look, we're not going to do the QT thing. We're just giving our opinion, and we don't want you all to get sued. It'll just be us because I'm not sure our identity
covers. And if you hear a lot of beeping during this episode of GPTV, you'll know the lawyers
got involved and said we can't say those things.
I love lawyers. I love it when lawyers get involved. They just
my son's going to be
suck the life out of everything.
My son's going to be a good agent. He would have been a good lawyer. I said, be a lawyer, don't be a real estate agent.
His son wouldn't have been a good lawyer.
I think he might have. He's actually clever. He's not like me, Phil. Let's move on.
Clever.
I know. Where did that come from?
Why is he coming into the business?
I have no idea. I'm asking. Can't work it out.
It's Dumb and Dumber in that family,
That's
really.
for sure. No, well, it's not because he is smart and my daughter's smart, but I don't know where it came from. Anyway, Phil, but mind you, the Kingston boys, geniuses, they don't even talk about real estate. They're that smart. Phil, triple auction action on Saturday morning. Let's get into it. We are going to start off in Lillimur Road, Ormond, Leor Samuel. We've got on Saturday.
How many auctions this weekend, Gary?
Phil, this weekend we have 17 auctions. We're on 12 suburbs, and on Saturday we are in 10 different suburbs.
10? Philip, we're going to be so busy,
we're all over
Gary.
the place. We're everywhere except Queensland. Phil, Wrap us on this property, or give us a wrap on this property. Lillimur Road, Ormond at 10:30. Leo Samuel has auction honours.
Well, Gary, I love Lillimur Road and I love Ormond and I love this particular location. Walking distance to trains and shops. It's fabulous. This is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment with a car space, a nice modern, good-looking building, Gary. Move straight into that one, not spend a cent.
Thank you, Philip. 3 at 4 Prince Edward Avenue in McKinnon. Well, that one's going up for auction on Saturday at 10:30 a.m. That's my first auction, and Philip, I know this building very well. It's a beautiful modern townhouse in a wonderful location, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms and 2 car spaces in a wonderful position. This is really good buying right in and around that McKinnon Road district where everything's happening.
Gary, we've got to move through this. We've got 17
23 at 461 St Kilda Road from 10:30.
Well, it's a favourite building of ours, Gary. It's the Kingston building
Named
with the
after
U.
you.
Unfortunately not, Gary. This is 3 magnificent bedrooms, 2 fabulous bathrooms. This is a local iconic building and its back garden is the Faulkner Park. And viewers, if you haven't walked around Faulkner Park, I suggest you do because you'll get a shock at how incredible it is.
Phil, at 11:30 we have 2 auctions on Saturday. We've got double auction action, Rosstown Road, Carnegie, Leo Samuel.
Well, check out the parquetry floor in that property, Gary. That is incredible. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, and certainly you can just hop, skip and a jump to Kunang Road from there. It's fabulous.
Jeremy Rosen starts off on Saturday. Sorry to cut you short,
Yep.
but you're waffling. He's going to be in Snowdon Avenue, Philip. The first of his 4 auctions.
Yes,
Wonderful apartment. This
Snowdon
looks like.
Court. There was a Lord Snowdon, Gary, I believe. This is a good apartment, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. Been nicely renovated throughout. That's a good property. And Snowdon Avenue is a great location. Love Snowdon.
We love it at Snowdon
Lord
Avenue.
Snowdon.
Triple. I don't know about Lord Snowdon, Phil, but if
I
anyone
think he
knows
did something.
anything about that.
I think he did something good.
Did he?
One of the
Good.
royals
Well,
that did
you know
something
what, it's
good.
If you're going to be a lord, do something lordly
Yep.
and make something happen. Phil, triple auction action at 12:30. We're going to be kicking off in Glen Huntley Road. Jeremy Rosen's moves on to that auction.
Apartment number 5, or townhouse number 5, Gary, really. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 car spaces. Move straight into that, not spend a cent. It's light, it's bright, it's got beautiful timber floors. It's very, very schmick.
I don't know whether anyone has a better success rate than us. I'm going to be a little bit boastful now. In Brighton and Brighton East, I reckon we have an amazing clearance rate there.
We do, Gary.
We just always seem to sell
I hope
there.
you're not about to put a hex on it.
No, I'm not going to do that, Phil, because I know that you're going to be selling 8 Griffiths Grove in Brighton
Gary,
East.
I love this house. It's a beautiful, beautiful family home, and what a great position. You can walk to the tram, you can walk to the parks, and this is a house that you can move straight into and not spend a cent. It is light, bright, the timber floorboards, the open fireplace, the back garden I would describe as heavenly, Gary. That's a great property, and I'm very excited to do that auction.
Leo Samuel has his 3rd auction, Philip, at 12:30 Murrumbina Road.
Yes.
I know he's very excited about this property.
Well, that team is just kicking goals in Murrumbina, aren't they, Gary? And that is a wonderful, wonderful property. That is a 2-storey home, Gary, and you've got everything that opens and shuts there. I think that is a great opportunity for somebody to get into the market.
Now, Jeremy Rosen sold 2 properties in Alma Road on last weekend, Philip, on the weekend just past, and a couple in Alexander Street as well.
Yes.
He's not going to stop, though. You cannot stop him at 1:30. He's going to be back in Alma Road, 10 at 124. Alma Road,
Gary,
St Kilda East.
if we weren't selling this property, you should buy it.
Do you think so?
Well, you know why you should buy it,
I
because
buy it?
then you would be walking distance to one of your favourite markets in the
Hank
park.
Marvin, the Hank Marvin Market, Philip.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the Hank Marvin
So
Market.
this is an iconic building on the corner of Alma Road and Westbury Street.
It's right
this
next
is
door.
3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. Been very fastidiously renovated throughout. It's light, it's bright. I've said that before, but this is very schmick. I love that building.
So
it's
do
an
I.
iconic looking building,
It's a
but the
ripper.
location there. Walk to the tram and Dandenong Road. Obviously, you've got the park behind you,
Yes.
and you've also got Carlisle Street on your doorstep.
And it looks like they're redoing the Westbury Walkabout Milk Bar on the corner there.
Yes,
Looks like
yeah,
that. So
I
I used
can't
to
wait
work
for
there.
that, because that's a pretty cool milk bar.
I used to work there for $1 an hour, Philip, sweeping floors, mopping,
And
and
I
lifting
reckon you
crates.
were overpaid.
So does the person who paid me. Phil, let's move on. 2:30, 2 at 4A Lansdowne Road. I'd also love the look of this building.
Great
Very
location there,
excited.
Gary. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, in fact 2 car spaces, which is highly unusual. And that is a great location, walking distance to the Alma village.
I never thought we'd be selling in Lebanon, Philip, but
No.
we are on Saturday at 2:30 in, well, not Lebanon, but Lebanon Crescent in Mulgrave. We love it in
Have
Mulgrave.
a look at this house, Gary. I mean, look, this goes to show that obviously Mulgrave is probably only 15 minutes from where we do most of our business, and yet
Perhaps a little further
the value
with traffic,
there that you get is absolutely incredible. You get all of this land, you know, a massive parcel of land, 726 square metres of land, with a really good cream brick veneer home with a fantastic floor plan that you can move straight into. You can add some value there, and all of that, you know, well under $1 million.
And I've got to say, the prices have gone up a lot in Mulgrave, I know, over recent years, and they'll probably continue to do so because it's a suburb that's on the rise,
Absolutely,
Philip. It's
100%.
On the move, and it's being improved all the time. So there you go. It's always been a
it won't be long before Mulgrave is renamed East Malvern.
Exactly. Is that right? Yeah, it could well be. You never know. It won't be long. Well, they took in a few suburbs, didn't they? They took in Chadston.
That's right. That's right. And you know what? It's kind of the next few.
I think East Malvern.
East Malvern will go all the way to Cranbourne.
I think it might. Phil, let's move on.
You'll be playing golf soon at the East Malvern Golf Club.
Well, there'll be many of them, won't there? There's one there already, but there'll be more. Phil, that's a wrap for Saturday.
What a boring sport.
The best. Phil, we move on Sunday with 6
all those
options.
golfers out there, really, you can't find anything else to spend 6 hours of your time doing.
We just love it, us golfers.
I don't get
it. It's an addiction,
what is it?
You know, it's the nature, it's walking around, it's having all that time to yourself. It's for some, you know, it's
having
a cigar.
Your collar if you don't mind.
Has it been the whole time?
Yeah, the whole time.
Are my sleeves okay today?
No.
Anyway, Phil, golf's addictive. You don't understand.
I seriously don't understand it.
You can just go out with nature, with your mates.
Choice,
you can have a cigar if you're a smoker, a cigar smoker, and you are close.
Why would you have a cigar on the golf course?
Because you want to make sure that nature, you know, bring the tobacco leaf into nature. It's beautiful.
Breathe those fumes all over the magpies.
It's the only place that's healthy.
Tell me. If you had your choice, how many days a week?
Yeah, it is.
How many days a week would you play golf?
3 days a week.
Would you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, if I could.
3 days?
I think I would. I think I'd definitely then have an excuse for... I would have no excuse for being crap. At the moment, I've got a good excuse for being crap.
No, but seriously, you would play 3 times a week every week.
One of my close friends, Jeff, he plays 3 times a week. He's playing really well. And he loves it, and I don't blame him. Philip...
What's he play off? What's Jeff play off?
He plays off 9.
9? With 3 days a week you'd want to.
Well, I think
anyway,
so too.
Can we move this on?
Yeah, well, you're the one dragging it out. Philip, we're going to be in, on Sunday, we're going to be at 10:30 a.m. at 219 Anderson Street, Caulfield.
Yeah, what a beautiful property that is, Gary. It's
really
very hard to find one of these. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, but it's a single-storey villa in a really an outstanding location, a great street, Anderson Street. But this, it feels very much brand new, this property, and that is really quite an exclusive property.
I'm looking forward to auctioning that one, Philip. That's a beautiful property. You're going to be around the corner at 10:30 in Lockhart Street, Phil.
Gary, what an incredible home this Lockhart Street is. One of the best that you will see. That is a big family home designed by Amnon Weber Architect. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, double lock-up garage. It is in brand new condition, that home. It's beautiful.
Now, it's not a secret, but the actual owner of Visual Domain, Philip, has got their house on the market.
Yes.
And that is going up at 439 Glen Eira Road, and I love this house.
Well, what a beautiful home. We sold that for some dear friends of ours. It only seems like yesterday, but it was obviously a number of years ago. This is 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking. It is really the prettiest of homes to look at, but its floor plan, its meticulous renovation is fabulous. This is a really good home, and whoever buys that house will be buying a house with a strong pedigree.
1 Booran Road goes up at 12:30.
Yep.
Philip, you've got a busy day on Sunday. You're doing 4 auctions. Nothing for you, man of your vigour and fitness, but this is a wonderful home too.
Gary, I'm excited for this property because I really love this home. I did a video tour there. Viewers, if you haven't watched that video tour, please, I'm trying to get my stats up. But it is a great home, a really, really fabulous family home. And I'm very excited to sell it because whoever buys that's going to be buying a magnificent property.
We finish off on Sunday with double auction action at 1:30.
Yes.
2 wonderful properties, Philip. One of those is in St Kilda or Balaclava.
Yes.
Actually, Balaclava, I should say, 11 Camden Street. I think it might have been my Auntie Greta's house, but I'm not sure. But anyway, 11 Camden Street's a great home. Graham Callan's handling it.
Your Auntie Greta, what a funny woman she was.
She was a wonderful lady,
She was a funny woman.
Yeah,
you have some...
most
of your family is highly eccentric.
Well, they are.
Which is code for saying they're all crazy.
Yeah, but she was delightful.
Every person in your family is crazy, I reckon.
I think so too.
Shout out to those that are still watching the show.
Shall we move on to yours now or leave them alone for the time being? That's right. I think we'll leave them in peace.
I've got my share of psychiatric problems in our family, and a shout out to those in my family that are watching the show.
Let's move on, Phil. Get away from that tender touch. But
Camden Street, Balaclava, Gary. I love that spot because you literally do have Carlisle Street on your doorstep there. Why you'd even use the kitchen in this home when you've got all of the cafes literally just walking distance. Great property, and being handled by Graham Callan. He's lucky to have that property because it's a beauty.
And he's decided to let Jeremy do the auction because he's the local guy,
Yep.
even though Graham himself's a wonderful auctioneer. Philip, we finish off at 1:30. Joel Sir is going to meet you at Hughenden Road to do the auction of this terrific property.
Well,
Let's
what
have
an
look at it.
incredible property it is, Gary. This is 2 or 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, a stunning, stunning home. Only a couple of years old there, Gary, so it's a beautiful property.
Phil, that's a wrap on GPTV. It's been a bit of a long edition because it's and a bit of a slow edition, but that is on Queensland time, Phil.
Yeah.
Everything happens just a little bit slower here. But that's a big wrap on GPTV. The market has started, spring has sprung, the results are good, the clearances are there, the weather's going to get better as it is right here. Well, it needs to get better here. And Phil, we're going to continue to bring all of the mayhem, nonsense and real estate news to the viewers of GPTV, and we'll see you next week.
Viewers, I am so excited. The spring selling season is here and I am feeling energised and pumped and happy, and I cannot wait to deliver an outstanding spring.
We will see you next week. Bye for now.
See you later.